President.
The senator from Kentucky.
Reserving the right to object, I think we all want transparency. I think we all want reports to be revealed. We think the American people deserve to know what happened with the Russians hacking into Democrat email, with the Russian involvement in trying to affect the outcome of our elections. I think we all want that. What do we know so far? We know that we spent $30 million to investigate this, and they have decided and concluded, after doing hundreds of interviews and thousands of subpoenas, they have concluded that President Trump did not collude with the Russians, did not conspire with the Russians, did not commit a crime with the Russians, and as the president has said repeatedly, he never talked to the Russians. We do know that. That's what we know so far. But now that we know that, in addition to the Mueller report, we also need to know, was there malfeasance? Was there misuse of government power? Did President Obama's administration get involved in an election to actually try to manipulate and infiltrate the Trump campaign to entrap them or try to spread information that was incorrect? We need to know that. So I am asking that the senator, by unanimous consent, accept my amendment, which would say that not only will we see the Mueller report, we will also see the communications between John Brennan, known to have already lied to the Senate about spying on the Senate computers, and James Clapper, also known to have lied to the Senate in testimony over the bulk collection of your phone records, that their communications with James Comey, who is known to have leaked illegally information about this investigation to the press, that their communications become known to all of us. We need to know why they decided that the fake Russian dossier was real. The country had concluded it wasn't. No media outlet would produce the Russian dossier because it was so unverifiable. And yet, the FBI head, the CIA head, kept sending the dossier out to people, having it come back to them again and say, oh my goodness, look what this senator gave us. It was what they already had, that nobody was believing and nobody was discounting, and now the Mueller report has said was fake, was made up. The dossier was not true. But that's what this entire investigation. Why should we know about this? Because we don't want this to happen every 2 to 4 years. I don't care whether it's a Democrat president or a Republican president. We should not waste the time of the entire country sending spies into campaign, making false accusations, and tying the country in knots for 2 years. Tying us in knots such that people are at each other's throat now and can't talk to each other because we spread this false narrative that President Trump had something to do with the Russians. It was not true. We spent $30 million, and now we know it's not true. So I ask today unanimous consent that my amendment be added to the current resolution. We will agree to see the Mueller report as long as the other side will agree to show us the communications that took place in deciding to promote this fake allegation against the president, and we want to know whether there was misuse of their office. If that is allowed, then I will agree to consent, but I would ask at this time unanimous consent that my amendment be added to the senator's resolution.